signal for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
Well, nothing like that awkward pause after the music ends and StreamYard decides they finally want to put me on screen. I'm going to kind of cut to it quick. I'll do my merchandising pitch afterwards, and I'll do my 22-0 pitch afterwards as well. I'm really excited to have Jon Del Arroz on with me again. We did a series of interviews, conversations a couple of months back, talking about Jon's first go with cancel culture and his fight back against that. And subsequent to that, he's coming under attack again. And there is a particular strain of the world out there who is doing their level best to completely remove Jon from the ability to make money in the career field that he's chosen for himself, which is his art. And they're doing their level best to destroy him. And Jon's still swinging. He's still fighting. And we're going to bring Jon on because he's got a somewhat of a hard stop time because something to kids or something. I don't know. It's so weird. You can worry about your children these days. But we're going to bring Jon in and we're going to say hello and ask him some backstory. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on now and how he's going to combat it. Jon,
what's
hello.
going on, my friend? How you doing?
I'm very good. I'm hungry and thirsty, and I'm not drinking any alcoholic beverages right now.
I'm not either for Lent. Are you doing the same thing, or?
I was being facetious, but now that you know what I gave up for,
you're literally drinking an alcoholic beverage right there.
Not at all.
Literally,
I don't know.
Not at all.
You know what I gave up for Lent?
What'd you give up?
Lent.
Giving up things for Lent. Yeah.
Because I'm a Reformed Calvinistic Presbyterian Baptist.
Yeah, we're working on that.
No. This is not going to become a Fish on Friday stream either. So for
I once did a stream. It's important where on Fridays, and I opened up canned tuna and I literally just ate canned tuna direct out of it was disgusting, and it was really difficult to get through. And
you did that on stream? Itself, I would never eat on stream.
Yeah. It's not the eating that was disgusting. It was the canned tuna that was disgusting. And cottage cheese is not much better. I don't know how you're doing that. But,
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's like candy for keto.
Yeah, if you say so.
I told you didn't have to worry about being funny.
Yeah, I know. It just comes naturally sometimes. Hello, Magabats and JV in the chat. How you guys doing?
So here's the deal. If you want to ask Jon questions, you have to super chat. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you do. That's how it works.
I'm so bad about it. Like I always feel guilty. Like first person to super
my puppy.
Chat.
Oh my gosh! Look at this interruption right here. We got Ace, say hi. Oh, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Mm-hmm.
You keep your dog on a lead in the house?
Yes, my friend. You're a good boy. Okay. Yeah, we're professional streamers here, so.
Yeah. Oh, my studio's changed. My microphone's over here now.
Wow. I just still have the laptop on my lap, so I can go like this and really bother everybody who's watching. It's pretty great.
Why is TC stream so shaky? What's going on? So
bye, Ace.
You came under attack of what was it? 2 years ago now?
Oh gosh, it's been what year is it? 2022. I've been going since 2017, so 5 years.
So okay,
overall.
So you came under you came under attack about 5 years ago. Got canceled from your publisher.
Went out leash on.
I thought he had
Sorry.
a lead on. No.
He's got a collar.
Looked like he had a lead on his collar.
I don't know. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Nah, shoot, nah.
My bad.
So, no, you're catch up here, Del Arroz. What are you?
Yes.
Lay
Sorry.
off the flex
Sorry.
wheel.
You're trying to like talk about real things, and I'm thinking about my dog.
That's you know, that's life. Streaming. That's what we do. Streaming. It makes it more interesting. You can't edit it out after. Well, I guess I could, but
You could.
so you came under attack. Your publisher canceled you. Told you you'd never get published in the industry again, and you said, "Up yours," for lack of better terminology. And you started to self-publish. You had some different methods for doing that, and one of them here recently was Indiegogo.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm no stranger to getting deplatformed. I mean, so I've been suspended from Facebook several times, of course. Been banned from Twitter. Been banned from 2 different conventions at this point, science fiction wise.
Holy cow!
Banned. Yeah, 2. One of them actually had an actionable thing. That's who I sued. It's kind of my claim to fame. And then I recently got banned from Indiegogo under a false DMCA claim, which is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, for those who are watching from home. Hey, ValeNud, by the way. And then I got banned from Patreon about 2 weeks ago, and they said for hate speech. But when I asked what the hate speech was I was banned for, they would not answer me. So
didn't they also say like your conduct off of their platform can also be considered when making the decision to boot you from the platform or not allow you to the platform?
They did, but they didn't elaborate what that was when I asked again. Huh. So, yeah.
Almost like talking to somebody in the state wanting
to
trying to figure out.
Exactly. Please press like 2 to be connected with. Yeah. And then
it's almost like they share talking points.
Yeah, I've got some. I do have a small franchise tax board problem that I have to deal with shortly too, and I've tried to log in to the franchise tax board. This has nothing to do with politics. It's just me being frustrated with the government and their stupid systems that don't work.
Which is about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not me being targeted politically. Let's call it that.
No, but it fits in well with the theme of my channel.
So. I got that. I had a little issue with them, and it said to log into the website to check the deal. So I log into the website. It tells me to put in my social security number or whatnot. I put that in. It tells me that they have nothing matching the records, and I'm like, okay. And then I try to call, and when I call, it puts me through to press 1 for English, press 2 for, and in 20 minutes of pressing and trying to get to the right spot later, it tells me that I need to visit the website in order to do things. So I have an endless cycle of I have to visit the website, but the website tells me I can't because my records aren't right. I can't talk to anybody, but I have to visit the website, and it's just over and over and over again. And so I don't know what to do, but I know that if I leave it lingering, I'm somehow culpable and responsible, even though the government system doesn't work, because that's how these things work. And I'm sure there's a fine attached to it, right?
See, that fits perfectly with the theme of my channel.
Yeah.
So, this attack on you, and that's what it is. And I was watching your stream before when you were talking about that. The guy who went south. Not to pick on my southern friends, it's just everything is south of me. You were talking a little bit about the fact that it's so easy for people to think that cancel culture isn't real, and I'm paraphrasing a longer span of comments that were made by you and your guests. You were talking about this affects people's livelihoods, this cancellation and stuff does, and in that for the most part, the people on the right don't have that power. People don't understand. So when you point out something like what, Disney coming out and fighting with the state of Florida about the bill that just passed down there. And if people want to not do business with Disney, that's not cancel culture. That's the free market doing its thing.
Right. Those are customers. Like
Right.
Disney as a corporation can get people fired, can make it so they can never work again. It's a really ugly thing, and that affects people's livelihoods for real. It's a very much a different ballgame.
And so this latest attack on you, and it's coming from one particular individual, and I'll just kind of say it's a really weird version of gaslighting, if you ask me.
Yes.
It's not so much that he's trying to convince you that you're crazy, but it's like he's trying to convince everybody else that you're a bad guy. And as such, treat you like a bad guy, which then really causes you to be the bad guy, because now you lost your Indiegogo campaign, which was funding one of your most recent projects.
Correct. Yeah, it's
Did you ever get that money?
I got some of it. They refunded some of it also. So it was kind of an odd situation. Like they gave me, I think, 290 out of the 370 backers information and let that go through, but they didn't let the rest of it go through. And they claimed that I'm giving out private information. But if they actually believed that, why would they then give me more private information? It's a very bizarre corporate thing. Yeah.
I don't get how any of this works. And I'm having gone through being canceled myself in a far different way, in the sense of I didn't have an entire platform ripped out from underneath me and whatnot. I'm like you. I'm still fighting that fight. Some people will look at it, well, it's over, you made your decisions, but like, no, I'm literally still fighting that fight. I'm sitting here in some respects trying to get people to understand that I'm like, you don't just overcome in an instant when your source of income is stripped away from you.
Yeah, we all like to have like instant validation and instant gratification in our culture these days, and we kind of just forget about things. But a lot, these fights go on for years. The culture fight's going to go on probably forever. I mean, it's a thing that is a never-ending good versus evil kind of battle, and there's no quick wrap-up to any of this stuff. So it's not fun, good YouTube entertainment a lot of the time, but. We got to go through these fights. Otherwise, the other side just wins, and that's just how it goes.
And that's what I've been trying to get people to understand. Like, they're like, you why do you keep fighting? And I'm like, because there are other people out there who don't understand that they can and that they should.
Yes.
And that's why I think when I first, became aware of who you are and what you were doing and what you went through, I reached out to you immediately, because I'm like, this is a guy whose story needs to be told. And I was thinking, wow, he's on the uphill battle side of this still, but he's found a way to almost get himself to that point where, I mean, not quite Joe Rogan level of FU money, as they like to say, but kind of at that point where you're like, no, I'm doing this on my own. I'm self-publishing. I'm working with independent creators, like staying away from corporate art. I was listening to your stream.
Yeah, thanks.
Which, by the way, just so you know, I don't always get notifications when you go up, strangely enough. I don't know why that is. Couldn't be shadow banning.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some of that going on too, but I mean, YouTube seems to be working pretty well for me, so I don't know. At the same time, I mean, we keep going up, but yeah, I don't know. The algorithm is a weird thing on YouTube, and nobody really knows how it works.
Well, that's what I said when I promoted it this morning. I said maybe we can get some hate watchers, because that really drives the algorithm up, which is which is fine. So far, it's everybody's friends of yours. Well, and Judson's here, so Judson's a friend. Comes over from the unsafe side, is where I met Judson. So,
Hey, Judson, how you doing?
but we have to stay in this fight. And that's what you chose to do 5 years ago. You're like, no, I'm going to stay in this fight. I'm going to make myself my own boss. And here they are coming at you again.
Yes.
And they've
that's
managed.
The thing. It's like
go ahead.
I'm just making my comics on Indiegogo or Patreon, or I was, and now I've got it on Kickstarter and Subscribestar, which I think are not going to be as easy to give me deplatform from. But
Well,
I'm just kind of putting it up there and just doing my thing over and over and over again. And, that's not enough for these people, I guess. It is what it is.
I was having a conversation with somebody. Hey, yeah, Megabats there. Likes help
Hit that
the
like and
algorithm.
subscribe button.
Yeah. So like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And then super chat. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Super chat, damn it. My mom's watching the stream right now going, he said the D word. And then I'll hear about making fun of her later on. I love her to pieces. She's actually become a good fan of the show. She shares it with other people.
Hi, TC's mom. How are you?
I don't even know if she's in here. She doesn't watch live very often.
No.
She tells me that she has to watch my stuff in pieces because it's all too long. So I've started trying to make shorts because they're anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute, and I'm thinking, hey, we'll get mom's attention with shorts. So far, nothing.
I've not really done too much with shorts. I do about 5-minute videos on news topics of the day and give my reaction to them a lot of the time. So that tends to work.
Yeah, I'm a lot more long-winded than you when it comes to that. So like I started a new series, if you didn't know. So I've got this one that I've started,
Nice.
which is TC and Friends Monday Night Musings. And I thought you would be a perfect candidate for that because you never muse. And then I started a Saturday series, which is Saturday Sit Rep, where I just kind of talk about news from throughout the week, regional and national and international, if something catches my eye. And the first one was like 35 minutes, and then this last Saturday's was like 55. It was heavy on some interesting topics. So,
We got
especially if you're
JV
local.
posting something Arabic in the chat now.
I
don't
see
know what
that.
means.
I'm like, I don't. JV, are you calling down the fires of hell on us, or I don't? What's
It's probably something about a Saturn, knowing JV. So
one of yours?
yeah, he's one of mine. You're one of mine, JV. That's how you're known now.
Yes.
Hello to Sarah and Kent in the chat. Welcome.
Sarah's one of mine. Sarah's one of mine. She's local,
Is she one of
relatively
your-
local. So
like your simp? Like
Sarah, you're not my simp. Maybe. Sarah's gonna message me later, and she goes, "What's a simp?" She's typing it. I guarantee it right now. She's typing
because
it.
you have what's called a normie audience, I guess. I don't. So I have an internet. I have an internet audience. So
No, I do not
either,
like
yeah.
the normies. Do not like me.
No.
No, I coined a phrase. Oh, Megabats, thanks. John, does your mom watch your stream?
Absolutely not. I hope not. I swear so much on my streams. My mom would be ashamed of me. Absolutely ashamed. So
Well,
she'd
hey,
be
let's-
more ashamed than Mike Miller is of me.
Let's
for swearing.
talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Seriously, because that's been one of the Vineland or Vinland, sorry. Kick JDA. Yep.
Yes.
So Megabats asked, "Does your mom watch your streams?" And you said I absolutely not, because you swear too much and she'd
Yes.
be ashamed. I've gotten that feedback on a couple of my videos from
That you swear too much?
Well, not too much, but just on the ones where I have, and I haven't quite dropped some of the same vernacular that you have in some of yours. But I had Buck Johnson on Friday, And I don't know if you're familiar with Buck Johnson. He has a show called Counterflow,
Okay.
and it's very libertarian, paleo conservative in its content. And he curses, and and I don't know if you've ever watched Part of the Problem, which is Smith and Bernstein from Gas Digital, and they kind of have some of that visceral, guttural language reaction to things. But you're a pretty devout Christian coming from the Roman Catholic perspective, outside of that one foray into the Presbyterian church that just scared you away from Presbyterians forever.
Yes.
And that they do not represent all Presbyterians, by the way. I have some Presbyterian friends that I told that story to, and they cried. It was pretty sad. I had to comfort them. And but you use some pretty strong language, and like even today when you were upset about this guy who's blaspheming, you were using some pretty strong language.
Did I call him a faggot?
I don't remember that. I
Okay.
just know you use some pretty strong language,
Okay.
and I'm not saying that as an accusation. I'm asking this in this culture that we live in today. There's this perception that Christians have to be holier.
The mic
than
buzzing
thou.
is not me. It's actually TC. Your mic is buzzing. That's true.
My
You
mic
probably
is
can't even
buzzing?
hear it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it is. It's going bzz, 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 like
Really?
Yeah. It's stopped now, actually. So
Is it
for some
better
reason,
now?
I have no idea why.
Oh, maybe
Oh, there
It's-
it goes again.
it's Satan.
Maybe it is Satan.
What about now?
I think it's okay.
So I'm just gonna have to sit here like this the whole time?
Yes.
Oh,
Don't move. Don't move.
okay, John. The show's yours.
The show's mine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my new show. And
It is not. It is not
it's
a
still
Fish on
buzzing.
Friday stream.
It's still buzzing.
That's
Oh, man.
good.
I can't wait to drink. And you're driving me crazy with that. Because
It's
I
just
do like to
sparkling
drink.
ice water. That's all.
Yeah.
Is
Sarah
it
says
buzzing
that's what
still?
her kids call it. Was that in reference to the simp comment?
Yes, that's in reference. No, the normie comment.
Oh, Normie. Oh, yeah. That's.
Is it done? Is it done
Kids are
buzzing?
pretty based. I talk again.
What about now?
I don't think it's buzzing now.
Must be something about the way I have it set up.
Interesting. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But it's all better now. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna sit here like this. So anyway, you use some pretty guttural language when you're upset.
Yeah, I
And-
need to stop doing that. I
No,
try
no,
not to.
I'm not. It's not an
Okay.
accusation.
It's okay.
It's not an accusation.
You can be Mike Miller. It's
I-
okay.
See, that's one of your inside jokes, and
It is.
That was like this. Do you prefer sausage or pepperoni on your pizza? The one time you had me on, and
Oh, boy.
I just fell for it, and
You went for the
everybody laughed at me.
pepperoni.
Yeah, I picked pepperoni.
Good old Wisconsin pepperoni.
See, now I'm back in the loop. I'm out of the loop again. on
It's
the
okay.
joke.
If I just say things that don't sound like they make sense and it signals to my audience, then they're happy. And that's what I do for you guys. So
The buzzing is gone, correct?
the
Still?
buzzing is gone while you're doing that.
All right, so it must be something I need to change on my setup. All right, so I'm just going to sit here like this. So we have this perception that Christians are supposed to be holier than thou, and every little,
are.
every we are, but everything that comes out of our mouth is supposed to be completely sanctified, and there's no room in our language for anything that's guttural and visceral. And I'm not advocating that people believe that Christ was walking the earth and dropping, certain words, obviously. But is there a place in our anger where we can say something that is pointed and maybe even provocative without it being a sin, you think?
No, I don't. I think it's a problem, and it's just I've gotten in the bad habit of doing it. So, not making excuses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I've worked on not letting too much of it get too too heated, every once in a while I'll tell people something pisses me off, and then they'll say, "You can't say that," and I'm like, "Well, it's in the Bible." There's a
I
passage. There's a passage where it says he pissed against the wall, and I'm so there we go.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, I don't mean to do that, and I just it just happens. I don't know, and I'm not very good at like changing my speech patterns, I guess. So
What? How much has this current the attack on you, as far as this trying to get you completely canceled, has it affected you drastically? Has it been more difficult, or were you able to recover from it?
I'm used to it.
rather quickly?
It's I'm like desensitized to it, you know. Like you can get you can get desensitized to violence, or if you watch pornography, you get desensitized towards like normal sexual stuff, and then you get into weird deviant stuff, and that's the problem with our culture these days. But I'm desensitized to being deplatformed, so I expect it. I kind of just like if YouTube's gone tomorrow, I'd be like, up, was bound to happen. And
Right.
I'd probably complain about it on a platform for a couple days, and then I just kind of move on because you can't really do anything about it, and I'm not gonna sit there and like wallow in it. So sucks that Indiegogo's gone. I mean, my whole group, all of us in Comicsgate, really do use Indiegogo kind of as the primary platform to make revenue. But I'm just going to put it up on Kickstarter, and I'm just going to hope that my books are good enough and that the people like me enough to come with me over to Kickstarter and back my book over there when it comes out. I have an echo. Yeah, I'm kind of in a big room. I'm sorry. I can't do too much about that, Sarah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's I'm buzzing. John's echoing. This,
Disaster.
ladies and gentlemen, is, you want to know why? It's because we're professionals. This is why.
Yes.
We are pros. Jon and I are actually giving up our individual careers, and we're just going to become professional streamers all the time.
Yeah, I really do need to get like a sound deadening screen or something, and like something to like put my laptop on so I don't do this. But
So, I think so. See now, Sarah says doesn't bother me at all, and then
I'm sorry.
Al says coming in perfect for me.
That's
So
cool.
I mean, somebody's wrong here. You can't both be right.
Well, the buzz is definitely going on. Like it's a thing, and it's even though you're doing that, it's still buzzing sometimes, but it's not as bad as it was. I'll just say that.
Weird.
It's like
I'll have
when
to
talk-
fix my
yeah.
routing.
Yeah.
I think it's something to do with the cable. It must be the routing. Is it buzzing now?
Yes. Big time.
It's something to do with the cable, the way I have it routed.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
It's just a disaster.
Yeah, it's horrible. Is it like really loud, like you can barely hear me?
No, it does it when you talk, and it is kind of bothersome. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, well. Live streaming, ladies and gentlemen, never works the way you want it to work. I wonder if I just
Ground strap says Shifter in the chat. Hey Shifter. The
Keep
stream is so
talking.
boomer, says Magabats.
keep talking.
So yeah, I'm used to being deplatformed. I just kind of move on, do other things. I'm gonna launch some books from my own website. I launched a Subscribe Star, which I'm aiming to come out with like exclusive stuff for that website, and then I'm gonna be putting my next graphic novel on Kickstarter, which I'm very happy about. It's like my favorite one I've done out of my. I think I guess for graphic novels, I have 7 full graphic novels and 36 or so comics. So this will be a good one coming up here.
I'm gonna, because I am professional.
Oh, look at that. Hey, I need to like update my website sometime, but
Which one you want me to show? You want me to show your store? I'll show your store.
sure. Yeah, people can buy my books direct from me if they'd like. I have all my books up here. I didn't really put them in any particular order, which is probably a bad way to do things. The other thing is like I need to get my newsletter pop up probably to be less aggressive, but
How's the buzzing now?
it's still going.
Hmm.
Yeah.
John, keep talking. I'm going to do something here.
But yes, I write science fiction books. I've got some YA fantasy books too, in terms of novels, and then I've got a bunch of comics too. So I've got, I think, 16 novels total, 36 comics total, and we're just like working our tails off over here just to produce more, because I'm not going to be one of those people who just like does one book and is one and done. And I really believe in transforming culture by creating a lot of it. If you look at who did the most back in the day, really did a lot to make our culture what it was when it was great. You see Stan Lee. Stan Lee was writing, I think, 12 different comic books a month for Marvel when he started it, getting it going to what we know it is today. And that's what we're doing, going back to science fiction stuff. Villeneuve wants me to talk about tennis. We do have the Monte Carlo Open, which just started this week. This starts clay season for tennis. If you don't know too much about tennis, there are 3 different surfaces in which people play tennis on: hard courts, which is kind of your traditional one; clay courts; and then of course grass, which is at Wimbledon. And clay court season started today, and we'll see how that goes for our hero Novak Djokovic, who is playing finally. Finally, he's in a country where he's not banned. TC, it's been really painful watching him not be able to play because the United States banned him, and of course Australia caused their whole problem earlier this year with him as well.
So you are a recent tennis fan?
No,
you've been a fan of tennis for a while.
Yeah, I played when I was a teenager too. So I played for
interesting
20 plus years.
Are
the comics appropriate for a 13 to 15-year-old? Yes, I'd say they're appropriate for a 13 to 15-year-old. I do have some pretty solid violence in it, but like I think anybody who's a 13 to 15-year-old probably already plays video games, so it's probably too late on that front. So yeah, I mean it's probably much cleaner than anything you'd get, especially from Marvel and DC. I've got no weird sexual stuff in it, no weird transgender gay stuff in it. I keep all that out, and I try to make it so that pretty much everybody can read it is the goal. But yeah, definitely, I'd say like if you let them watch like the Marvel movies, like the movies, then it's probably got that level of violence in it, because it is. I do tend to write fighty concepts because that's what boys like. So,
tell us a little bit about your Crusader series.
My Crusader series, Deus Volt, is not actually on there, and that's
why I brought it up.
Yeah. That's my most recent graphic novel, and it is about a crusader who gets kind of thrown into a fantasy world and has to fight literal demons. But I do have a novel that has kind of a Crusades theme, like in space, and that is called Justified. And that one, basically, I took Star Wars, and Star Wars is kind of based on Eastern religion. Yeah, exactly. That it really doesn't need it, and I have no interest in writing about that because I don't like it. So I hope that we can continue to do that. I mean, if you go to any bookstore in any comic at this point that's modern and released by big corporations, all it is just like pure LGBT crap all over everything, and you just can't get away from it. It's really obnoxious. So we're trying to do something different. It's not just me. I've got a whole cadre of people doing things with me. But yeah, we're trying to produce them fast enough that we can hold people's attention, because it's all about lots of content. But Justified is I took Star Wars and I was like, that's based on the Eastern religions, like kind of in space like that. What if we kind of had like a big Star War sort of setup? But it's based, like, the Jedi sort of setup's based on, like, being a knight and a crusader, not, like a monk who tries to be as passive as possible, because I don't believe in that. So I tried to base it around more of a Christian religion, and took it from there. And I think it worked out really well. It was a #1 bestseller. So, yeah.
Well, you are the leading voice. Hispanic voice in science fiction, according to PJ Media.
I know. According to PJ, the best part about that is news articles actually quote me as that, and I love it. So,
which is thus the Twitter handle. My buzz
Yes.
gotten better.
It did, and then once you asked about it, it buzzed a little bit again.
I'm
And now it's
telling you,
buzzing again.
It's Satan. Satan. It's because I got a whole new look and a new system. It's horrible. I changed.
It's
I went away
fancy.
from
You
my.
and your little coffee cups and all that, and I've just got like a white wall behind me. So
Well, it's because I'm pretty much a nerd. So
yeah, I went with leading Hispanic. So I mean, I had Jon Del Arroz as my Twitter name, and they banned me. Somebody called me racist, and I said, "You're the racist, whitey." And then they reported me for hate speech, and apparently, "You're the racist, whitey" is hate speech. So I learned
wait a
that
minute.
day.
So you're the racist whitey is hate speech coming from a conservative Hispanic guy.
Correct.
But if a leftist Hispanic guy calls a white person racist,
That's
okay.
good to go. Yes,
it's
correct. Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm going to have to go ahead and weigh in here and ask Sarah, because Sarah is my token. She said this herself the other day. She is my token Hispanic. Sarah, what's the final ruling on that? Because I need to know from my token Hispanic in Minnesota.
I didn't know they made it all the way up to Minnesota. It's kind of cold up there. So
Yeah, she's she's here. She's stuck. She can't get away. We're not going to let her out because we need that Hispanic vote here in Minnesota. So
I know you got a lot of Somalians though.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Needs to be updated to Latinx. Can you do that?
So I can only do it ironically. I can't say that. I can't say that word seriously because it's stupid. But yes, I can do it ironically. So,
Ironically. Okay.
yeah.
What do you see for the future of platforms for funding? Do you think, because we've seen things like Getter, Truth Social, and others have kind of said they were going to step into the gap and they were going to become the platform for conservative thought, for free speech, whether it's conservative or not. Do you think someone's going to kind of step into the gap and do that for crowdfunding?
I know a few people are trying and starting platforms on that, but it's like there's nothing concrete yet that I've looked at and been like, yes, that's the spot to go. I mean, I know we got Give, Send, Go or whatever has been, sort of like trying the thing. And Subscribestar is kind of like a Patreon alternative that seems to be working pretty decently. But I know some people who are more reliable than that, who are working on starting things, and it's just like, you gotta kind of decentralize is what it comes down to. That's why I try to get my revenue from a lot of sources. So I've got lots of books on Amazon that gives me revenue. My YouTube gives me revenue. My Subscribestar gives me revenue. I'll run my Kickstarters, and that way, like, not all my eggs are in one basket, and I can be a little more flexible. Got stuff, of course, directly selling from my website also. So I'm gonna try to lean more into like platforms that are probably not the most traditional in terms of funding and all that, because I think it is like the bigger the corporation and the more well known the corporation, the less safe they are, I guess, for a conservative. But right now there's really not there's not an answer that I think is like, this is the site that you should go to. And I think it should stay that way. I think decentralization is a good thing, because I think centralization and monopolies lead to the problem that we have now, for sure.
You talk about having these multiple outlets, or not outlets, but revenue streams, if you will. And I was there again talking about having you on tonight with a friend of mine during the day today. And I brought up the idea that I think that conservatives especially are going to be going back to a barter system.
Yeah, maybe.
And it sounds so funny because people are like, that's never going to happen. That was medieval serfdom, where you would walk up and exchange a duck for a chicken in a a ham. But I think it's coming, and I've seen this play out. Like, so Minnesota is in the midst of another pandemic. John, are you ready for this? Are you okay? Can I share this with you without shocking you? Are you going to be all right?
Oh my gosh, another pandemic.
Yes, we have our commissar, governor, here in the People's State of Minnesota, has issued another executive order for a peacetime emergency because the bird flu is destroying entire flocks of poultry in the here in Minnesota, and we have to protect them. So we can't go to community markets and fairs or whatnot, and we can't trade live birds. Now, this is going to come as a shock for a lot of you, but the big corporate farms that sell poultry can go ahead and slaughter their birds and sell them to the market. But you can't buy live birds and become self-sufficient by raising your own birds and barter and trading them with your neighbors, right? And I brought this up in conversation about what you're going through and how you're funding through different alternative outlets. And I've got a gal here in Minnesota who's raising organic chickens and free range chickens. And here it's perfectly like how many fresh farm eggs in trade for overmine.
I'm
Good
on eggs.
How many did you say?
I said I'm good on eggs. Yeah, my parents actually raised chickens, so.
But it's funny that came up because that's this gal that I know that's about an hour away has these organic raised chickens who lay organic eggs. They're free range. And she's like, well, I'm selling X amount for X amount of dollars. And I said, how about we trade a bag of coffee for a certain number of eggs? And she's like, yeah, perfect. And I think that is something that we're going to start seeing more as people are being forced into a market where they've been forced out of normal commerce. And that's what I've really appreciated about what you have going on is that you're stepping outside of the normal market. You're not relying on regular publishers. You're not relying on a contract. You're going to the people and sourcing your proceeds, if you will, by going to the people who are going to read your stuff and saying, hey, if you like my stuff, fund it.
Yes.
And that's going to get you some perks.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I like it a lot better because I'm not beholden to any corporation that kind of tells me I have to change my book and insert, diversity characters or whatever. And, or change whatever about the books that I don't want to change. I am also not beholden to any agent or anything like that. So I don't have to give up 25% of my revenue to an agent, which most authors and bookstores do. And the only people I'm beholden to is you, the viewer. Because if you like something, you'll tell me what you like. I'll be like, okay, I'll take a mental note of that and I'll try to tweak the next one so there's a little more of that. And then, if you don't like something, I'll try to tweak it so there's a little less of that. And that's just, I think it forms a more perfect union between me and my customer or readers to where I can really provide what people want, which is what Disney and Warner Brothers and all those companies are refusing to provide to people right now because they don't need to make a profit. So,
I don't know what Testify is, so I'm trying to determine if this is a positive or a negative.
Testify was the best of us. He really was.
Who is Testify?
JV has 5 apples. He gives Testify 3 apples. How many apples do you have left? None, JV is the answer. Yeah. Oh, 5 because Testify. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. DED.
So is that a compliment?
He's just dead.
No,
literally dead. DED.
I miss Testify right now watching the stream. Is that a compliment?
Well, it depends on how you take it.
I'm just going to choose to be positive about it because as long as you choose to be positive, nothing could possibly go wrong in your life.
Well, you don't want to choose to be HIV positive.
Uh-oh.
Did I lose him? Uh-oh. Did I destroy the entire stream by saying that? I might have said something offensive, my people. I'm sorry. And this is the end of the stream now. Is he? Am I frozen too, or is it just him? I can't tell. I think I'm not frozen, and I think he is frozen.
I'm here. I'm back.
Oh, dang it! I thought I scared you off.
No.
You're on
No.
stream.
No, it's well here. To be honest with you, StreamYard does not like Nord, and I use Nord for a VPN. This is not a sponsored ad, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I use Nord for a VPN, and StreamYard does not like it.
The death of Testify shocked him. That's what they say.
So
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with being compared to Testify because I don't know what Testify is. I'm just going to be positive and say
He's
that
dead.
it's a compliment. So,
Yeah.
Who's
What's
Lord
up, Jeremy Lord Crackhead? How you doing?
Lord Crackhead? You have some interesting followers, and I love
Lord
that they come
Crackhead's
here.
the best. So.
Yeah. Oh, would Lord Crackhead be Lord Crackhead if the CIA and the FBI hadn't brought crack into the community?
Probably.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Lord Crackhead would have created crack just to be Lord Crackhead. So do you think that, well, let's look at it this way. Everybody keeps talking about this red wave, this red resurgence that's supposed to be sweeping the nation. And I actually have some thoughts about all these people that are supposedly leaving the Democrats, leaving the Democratic Party, and flocking to the independent side or flocking to the Republicans. I don't trust them, people. I don't believe it, by the way. I think it's a setup, but I'm also paranoid and a little conspiratorial. But do you think that there is actually a conservative and libertarian resurgence that's taking place and is starting to push back?
I think there is to some degree. I don't know if we're going to see it in the voting box because I don't trust the voting box to have accurate numbers. But
gee, John, why would you say that?
I don't know. Yeah. But I definitely have seen like kind of a resurgence. Like, I mean, we've had a couple waves of this. Like 2015, 2014, we had Gamergate, and then the sad puppies kind of in culture, kind of pushing things. 2016, 2017, we had, of course, the great God Emperor of humanity himself, Mr. Donald Trump, show up on the scene, and then like there's been a lot of pushback, like really hard from Globo Homo, as I like to call them. And since like they're pushing so hard because they know it's kind of as far as they can push, and it's kind of fading, and they're getting scared, and that's why the bans happen. They're getting extremely scared, and I think it's inevitable that nationalism takes over, and I think it's inevitable that sort of a right wing situation takes over. It might be slow going. I don't know the time frame for it, but it will. And I'm seeing a slight cultural resurgence this year where I mean, my stuff's growing like it's never grown before. And I'm seeing that happen for other people too. And so I do think it is happening, but we're also still such an outlier compared to the mainstream corporations that like not enough people really do hear our voices. And I'm also seeing like the grifter types that are kind of the fake, we're anti-SJW really getting exposed at a rapid rate.
Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of, if you watched my stream earlier, there's a YouTuber named Just Some Guy who was part of this whole cultural movement in 2017, 2018. And all he's doing now is ranting about how he hates Christians and how he is pro the Florida, grooming children, and it's very bizarre.
He's against the law.
Yeah,
he's against the law that was passed.
That was passed. Yeah.
He was against the law that was passed, and thinks Christians are overreacting to the Marvel calling Jesus a mutant.
So that's the thing, and I find that to be a positive thing that those grifters are kind of getting kicked out, and new voices who are more authentic are starting to rise. So that seems to be a good sign to me. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's never you're never going to have a clear cut 100% to 0% victory. It's always going to be an ebb and flow, and you just got to make sure that you ride the waves on, I guess, the ebb, and you got to make sure that you have a soft landing on the flow, and that's the best you can do.
So we've only got you for a few more minutes before you go and take care of your family.
I know I got to go pick them up from tutoring. Terrible.
If you were a good dad, your kids wouldn't need a tutor. Okay.
I want to solidify math concepts actually, because I think that's very important to do.
I'm not a math guy.
And neither are they so much. I am. I'm an all of the above. I don't know, but some of it comes down to training a little bit. But you do want to have that basis in life, because if you're good at math, then you've got a logical step kind of beyond a lot of the population. I think it's a good thing. So that's why I give them additional tutoring. Yeah.
I love this because this came up in your stream earlier. Funny how the Christians are being attacked so fiercely and Islam has immunity. And just some guy was ranting on and on and on about how Christianity is not under attack and there's no such thing as persecution. And he had made the statement that people are, Christians are just upset that they're not allowed to force their religion on anybody. And for one, the United States has never, for all of its faults, Christianity in the United States has never forced its religion on anybody, ever.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Well, I'm not. As a nation, it hasn't. I'm not going to say missionaries haven't done some pretty screwed up things. They have, and I came out of Lutheranism into another type of Christian philosophical bent, and I'm in a different place now. But the biggest issue is that here in the West, especially in the United States, Christianity has never been really this thing where you must be a Christian to live here. You must be a Christian to have X, Y, and Z. And have there been Christians that have had that perspective? Sure. Absolutely. Many of the slaveholders, a long time ago, like Christianized their slaves. They told them that, here's your Christian name and you're going to do this and you're going to, as we're holding you as slaves, we're going to force you to be Christian. But Christianity has done some horrible things. But by and large, Christianity, especially in the West, has been often about you coming to that place and understanding your need of a savior.
Yes.
And in this argument that's being made by just some gamer guy that there's no attack on Christianity, you guys just need to get over it, nobody hates you, is just asinine. And I really think that's been the brunt of why they've come after you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I do really think they feel like Christians are safe targets, because we're not liable to really go crazy off the wall at them. And so that is, that makes it a little easier to be able to lash out and go and hit as hard as you possibly can. And that's that, unfortunately. And so I do think I'm a victim of that just because people know I will be nice. I mean, we were talking about somebody on my stream earlier that he's gone at me for 4 or 5 years and really hard, called me all the names under the book with the alt-right, Nazi, white supremacist, all that, and said some horrible things about my wife and all that. And he apologized to me, and I just am like, you know what? He can hang out. I forgive him. We're done with it. And when you know that's going to be the response, and you can always just fall back on that, you really don't have an incentive, I guess, to not attack somebody like me. But I don't. At the same time, I feel like I'm obligated to be charitable like that, because it's the right thing to do. So,
right.
Is what it is. That's what Christianity is about.
And
it doesn't always work out the best for me, but it's not. That doesn't matter. It's not the point.
And as you get ready to leave, because you have things to do, JV says, "Could you guys raise your cameras higher and bake a cake?" So that must be an inside joke. I don't get it.
I have no idea actually. Oh, I do know. Yeah, I do know what that means actually. That's funny.
Okay, ha ha
Yeah.
ha. I'm
Took
laughing.
me a second. I didn't get the reference at first, but it took me a sec.
No,
All right.
I,
let me make sure I do have to pick up my kids. And hold on just a second. I'm gonna go on mute.
ladies and gentlemen, the joys of live streaming. Yeah, don't put it on speaker. I hope the buzzing has gone away. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This is all new to me. I redid my studio. I had a very kind person gifted me with some new equipment, and it's been phenomenal.
All right.
And so,
I do have to go pick up the kid.
Go.
So yeah. Do you want me to pop back in, see if you're here?
yeah,
in a bit?
if I'm message me on Twitter.
Okay. Let's see if you're still
I don't
live.
know how much longer I can keep this up because you're far
You don't
more
have to.
entertaining than I am.
You just talk about yourself and like how and just pity yourself for 4.5 hours, and just like some other YouTubers do. So
I have a. You couldn't possibly be talking about Liam, could you?
not at all. No.
If I'm here, you just message me on the Twitter.
Okay.
And
I'll look and see if you're here.
I'll bring you back in.
Don't leave the chat, my friends. You stay here with TC and harass him while I'm gone because I
Yes.
can't do it. I'll be
If
right
you
back.
guys really want to pick on, thank you, John. I'll talk to you later. If you guys really want to pick on me, and you want to say really mean things about me, I can handle it. And but you have to super chat to really be mean. I do have an invite though. If you'd like to come in the stream and take part in the conversation, I am going to share the link right now to the stream. And if you're willing to come on and chat, I will share that with you right now. Stand by. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the chat. If you'd be willing to come in. See, Judson, that's like, no, that's not fair. You can't just say you like picking on me. Everybody knows how much you love me. There was one I wanted to share with you guys. Yes, here we go. Kent says, and by the way, Kent's going to be coming on my show here in a few weeks. I'm booked out for my TC and Friends Monday Night Musings, but Kent is one of my guests. He's going to be giving us a perspective about a Canadian response to the coup and what it looks like. And so if anybody's interested, Judson, yes, come on, Judson. Yeah, Judson, get in there. I agree with Kent. Come on, Judson. Come on. So here's the deal. Jon said in his stream that he has a lot of things he needs to work on. Oh, hey, we got a first. Well, hello, Bats.
Hello.
I'm just going to call you Bats. Thanks for doing that. What can we do for you this evening?
Nothing. I just wanted to pop in and say hello.
Well, I appreciate that. So you came over from Jon's stream.
Yeah, I'm Jon's friend, and I've never heard of your channel, and I just, as Jon said he was going there, so I was like, oh, I'll go check it out. So here we are.
Well, I appreciate that, and you're not the only person who's never heard of my channel.
It's okay. No one's heard of my channel either.
You have a channel?
I do.
Well,
It's,
let's put that out there.
I'm a terrible YouTuber. Who does?
Trust me, I know what it is to be a terrible YouTuber. Tell me about your channel. What is it called?
It's called MAGA Bats. I do comic book reviews, and I talk about Comicsgate and the comic book industry, and that's about it. And I laugh at myself and my life along the way.
So, what's the content of your art? Are you apolitical in your art, or do you tackle cultural issues?
I don't draw anything.
Ah,
Yeah,
you just talk about the art form of
yeah.
comics.
I laugh at mainstream comics, and
Nice.
I review the mainstream comics. I review independent comic books. I laugh at myself and other YouTubers. You know,
Do you do a regular release every week where you're talking about stuff that's just come on, or
so I'm the worst. If people who subscribe to my channel would know, but I'll go on these spurts of excitement to make YouTube videos, and then I'll just kind of get bored, and then feel like it's a chore, and then I'll do it for like 3 months or like a couple weeks in these like spurts. So I'll be like, for like 2 weeks in a row, I'll have like daily content, and then like I'll go a month without anything, and then I'll pop
See,
in like,
you gotta mega bats. You gotta be consistent.
oh, I know, yeah, I know, I've heard it a million times. Like, I've watched people who started channels before or after me and just stayed consistent. John being one of them.
Yeah.
And blew up.
Yeah, and I told him before we started the stream that one of the reasons I wanted him back on tonight was, one, because of the things that he's going through. Excuse me, and two, because he and a couple of others have really kind of pushed my story out there. And if you're not familiar with my story, I was canceled out of a career that I loved for 13 years for taking a stand on things like the Constitution, God forbid. And I was forced out of a career for that. So I've had to remain consistent now because I'm committed to this. And so I really appreciate the fact that you recognize that. Do you do like social commentary about the way modern comics are being managed, or are you doing more of a artistic breakdown of where they lack and where they're doing well?
A little bit of both. I've been collecting comics for about 25 years at this point, so I've watched a lot of things change over the years, and I'm also a fan of comics that came out before I was born. I was born in the 80s, so I really grew up in the 90s and 2000s comics, but I really had a love for this.
Yeah, see, I got hooked into Marvel because of Daredevil. I really related to Daredevil and his fight for justice and how he was struggling with that in his own walk. You know, he's working as a defense attorney by day, and at night he's going out and literally like corralling criminals. And I've been, a huge fan of Marvel because of that, and have lost a lot of my respect for Marvel because they have walked away from a lot of the values that were communicated.
So you don't appreciate Daredevil being a woman currently, then?
See,
sorry.
ID Crisis has joined us and laughed. He was doing such a good job of letting us talk and laugh.
Well,
I did not know Daredevil became a woman.
Well, Daredevil is it's Elektra. Elektra is currently Daredevil. If that makes any sense to you.
That's impossible.
No, that's bigotry. That's bigotry and sexist talk, saying it's impossible. Women can do anything, and women are better at men and everything. We just had an amazing swimmer named Leah Williams who just dominated the women.
Are you intentionally trying to take my channel down? Is that what this is?
No. I just want to educate you that women are amazing.
Recognize sarcasm. How's my sound, by the way? Yesterday, I was told it was a little weak.
You're sounding okay now when you're looking into the mic.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of hoping it'd be a little more effective than that, but all right.
I'm hoping my buzzing has gone away.
No,
If you have your cellular device under your microphone, it will do that. That's why it'll.
I moved my cell phone away.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm hoping my cell phone has moved away from and made it better. So ID Crisis, tell us about you.
man, I really dig that whole consistency thing. I've got a YouTube channel as well, and it's sporadic at best. I throw as much stuff up there as I can because I'm trying to share the time between an 8-hour a day job and
No idea what that's like.
yeah. Well, what were you canceled from? I mean, I am new to the story. I'm not new.
I spent the last 13 years working for a local sheriff's office.
Okay.
And when our governor here in
Right.
Marxistota decided to start shutting everything down and labeling people essential and not essential, I went to bat for small businesses that were being destroyed. And a city attorney in the city of Albert Lea, a city I don't live in, who I took to task for her treatment of a small business owner, along with the chief of police there, were very upset with me for calling them out for how they treated her. And they filed formal complaints, not just with my employer, which was the sheriff of Olmsted County, which is the third largest metro area in the state of Minnesota, but also called the FBI and the BCA on me. And the BCA is the Minnesota version of the FBI,
Right.
complaining that my activities were dangerous and hostile and presented harm to them. And
Your opinions were violence.
yes, in fact, I was so violent that the city attorney of Albert Lea called me to testify against my friend. And when I told her, I'm like, I don't know why you called me, but I've never been a threat to you. And she told me, and I quote, "Your rhetoric is dangerous and violent."
Right, but couldn't anybody just say that? Well, your rhetoric right now is dangerous and violent. Your rhetoric about my rhetoric.
Right.
Just take it back.
It's like a verbal Mexican standoff. Your mouths are pointed at each other.
Yeah, you just take it back to the
Latinx.
just take it back to the schoolyard, and whatever they say, you just repeat. Well, no, your rhetoric.
Oh, it's exactly this.
Are you aware that I am rubber and you are glue, and everything that you say to me bounces off of me and sticks to you?
I was literally about to say that. Thank you for not a.
I can't believe I had that ready.
You have a soundboard.
Yeah, I have a. It's like a little cart thing for an iPad, and I hardly ever get to use it.
What are you sharing here that I'm about to?
Well, you talked about getting canceled. I had a buddy of mine who was an IT director for a battered women's shelter, and when he got canceled, I gave him this as a congratulations for getting a new job. That's his office garbage can.
He keeps that in his office.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I do custom paint, mostly on like motorcycles and cars and stuff like that. So
you made that?
Yeah, I mean it's a bucket that where I work. There's like it's orange cleaner comes in this metal bucket, and I just sandblasted the paint off of it and weathered it, and then painted it.
So we've got Mega Bats has a channel, and you have a channel.
Right. I should probably find it and put the link to it out there somewhere.
Yeah, put it right in the chat. I'd love to have you guys get some support. Which means Megabats is now under pressure.
I don't know how to do that, bro. I'm eating spaghetti with eggs, dude. I don't make good life decisions.
Did you say you're eating spaghetti with eggs?
Yeah, some lesbian at the local grocery mart told me to try it, so I tried it, and I was like, she likes to eat this, so I also like to eat those things too. So I figured, we probably had similar taste buds. Talking about referring to women.
Oh man, you guys, this stuff that just keeps they're flying fast.
I love the
Jump higher, boy. The jokes are going over your head.
She's short and skinny, but she's strong. First baby.
So what's your content about?
Sideways.
What is your content
Green
about,
nut.
ID?
Sorry, yeah. Well, I do some comic book review, mostly the CG stuff that I've been getting, and how to, as far as like pinstriping, custom paints. I've got some airbrush
Nice.
reviews. I've got some time lapse painting with airbrush and pinstripe, and I sell a couple of products to the pinstripe community.
Wait. There's a whole community for pinstriping.
Oh, there is.
They're a lot older these days. It's hard to get some new blood in there because everybody's doing a lot of vinyl decals and stuff like that. But
Would you say that the pinstriping community is a dying community?
no. Well, a lot of times people will say that it's a dying art, but if you're referring to the New York Yankees, because when you look for pinstripers, a lot of times you run into just like New York Yankees fans. They're sort of it's a synonymous, what do you call it? Euphemism. Let me see if I can find some here if you want to see.
So I actually live in a very, very small town in southeast Minnesota, and strangely enough, one of its main businesses is a company that produces paint equipment, and they specialize in high pressure sprayers and things like that for things like
For automotive paint?
Automotive painting and stuff like that. And they use people use their equipment to do pinstriping and whatnot. So
to do pinstriping.
Yeah.
Well, I usually use pinstriping with like a sword brush. Those are usually made up around in I want to say Milwaukee. But if you're talking about like spray guns and stuff like a DeVilbiss or Sada or Iwata. Sada's out by you.
Yeah, right in my town.
Yeah, they make an expensive gun, I'll tell you. I've got one. I've got a small one.
How is your cottage cheese, TC?
It's not as cold as it was, but I'm still hungry.
It's been an hour. I just watched you
I haven't ate all day, so.
And so you say you are on the keto diet.
I am, yeah. I was 300 pounds 4 years ago. So.
Well, look at you! Congratulations, man.
Well,
it's incredible.
Are you serious?
100%.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm only looking at you from like the chest up, but you're nowhere. It's hard to wrap my mind around.
Yeah, I was 300 pounds 4 years ago.
It's really incredible what what your body can do when you take away sugars and carbs from it.
Yeah. My weakness right now is still having a shot of rum or something in my non-carb water, but to give up sugars and carbs, you're allowed to enjoy a little shot of alcohol. You're allowed.
Yeah, it's not going to be so bad. Yeah, sugar is hard to get away from.
I discovered a comic strip, like a Sunday comics style comic strip, kind of that I think you would really appreciate. It's called Little Chad, and if you go to littlechad.com, it's about a young boy who's raised in a traditional home where his father, the Chad meme.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So his dad looks like the Chad meme, and he's raising a young boy in a Christian and conservative value home where they.
Is this a Sunday comic?
Well, it's a self-published independent comic, but he releases a new comic every Sunday. I just discovered it this Sunday, and I was like, I have to tell every Christian conservative I know about this because this guy needs to be discovered by more people and shared. And so the value, or excuse me, the moral of the story of the comic is essentially to do the right thing. And so this young boy, Little Chad, is learning the values of being a man through the eyes of his father, and it's played for laughs, where they Papa Chad allows his wife's sister, who's struggling currently, to move in with them. And so she's a blue-haired SJW named Karen, who's also a school teacher, who's trying to indoctrinate children. And she gets
he's
in
going for the throat. What's the name of this website?
littlechad.com.
Okay.
But it's equally as wholesome as Calvin and Hobbes. Like, it's a whole lot of fun. If you
or like LIL, Lil Chad.
littlechad.com. Like
LILCHAD. Okay.
I discovered it this Sunday, and the 4-panel strip was little Chad and his dad sitting at a dock fishing, and he's like, "Dad, why does Mom say Easter's better than Christmas? Because I think Christmas is better." And then his father explains to him that it's because of Easter we get to celebrate Christmas. And he's like, "I think I understand." And that's it. But it's so wholesome. And when it's hilarious, it's hilarious. But then when it's like father-son wholesomeness, it's almost a tearjerker.
Look who came back, but he doesn't have his camera on.
Yeah, I didn't feel like camera anymore. I'm gonna have dinner in a few minutes, and
Oh,
just wanted to say hi before the end of that. Hello, hey Bats, and hello, somebody I don't know. What's up?
yeah, you do.
I do.
That's ID Crisis from the.
Oh, ID
Holy
Crisis.
League.
How you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Kids are okay.
Yeah,
Made it home in one piece. Your intrepid driving skills.
yeah. It's not that far away, but
We figured out my buzz, John.
Oh, it's done now. Oh, it's so peaceful now.
Yeah, my phone was in the wrong place.
Oh man. So what I miss?
Oh, tons
Well,
of
we've been talking about Mega Bat's channel and ID Crisis channel, and
yeah, we're new stars on the block here. Look out, we're coming for you.
so I'm doing for them what you did for me. I'm trying to get people to go and check them out, and
Hit that like and subscribe button, everybody.
yes, like and
John,
subscribe.
Click
John.
the link and the like and subscribe.
Have you discovered Little Chad?
I don't know what little Chad is. No.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific, or he's gonna take it the wrong way.
I put the link in the chat there.
Do yourself a favor.
Thanks for the sub, John.
Do yourself a favor, John, and check out Little Chad.
Sure thing.
You will appreciate it.
We're gonna do this real quick while John's still here, so that he can see what it is.
What is it?
Because I am professional. This is Little Chad.
Fancy.
It is a conservative weekly comic strip that talks about all sorts of stuff that we're dealing with on a daily basis.
It's a comic strip about people who don't have a sense of humor, written by people who don't have a sense of humor. That's the rumor.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you were on the other side, you'd be like, "Oh, those Christians, they don't know how to laugh or dance."
What it is, John, it's about the Chad meme as a father raising a young lad in a traditional valued Christian and conservative household, where Papa Chad allows his sister-in-law, whose name is Karen, who happens to be a blue-haired SJW and is a school teacher for a living, who's down on her luck because of her student loans.
Oh.
So Papa Chad lets her move in with his family to help her get back on her feet, and it's like Calvin and Hobbes wholesomeness. It's in that vein.
Papa Chad has a oh man, what's that cartoon? Johnny
Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, he's got a Johnny Bravo / hipster look. With the beard and the mustache. It's very, very well groomed.
But I think you will like it, John. It's definitely worth reading while you're on the pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, it's a
It's
that's not a description I would normally use, but hey, you know what? Whatever.
John, are you taking the pot?
He is in
No.
California. That is a possibility.
That is, it's legal here. Yes.
Yeah. John,
still not federally though.
since you came back in, which I appreciate, by the way.
Hey.
Your kids must be like 2 blocks away for traffic in your area for you to be able to get there and back. That's fast.
It's not that far off now. Yeah.
I always imagine that skit, the California. You get on the 110, then you take the 5.
I'm in an all right spot though for that.
What is your current project, and where are you going to go next for another project, John?
My current project is called Overmind, and it's a science fiction graphic novel. I'm working on that, and that's going to be on Subscribestar and on Kickstarter, depending on whether you're interested in reading that in digitally or on print. And that's about it for now. I'm working on a bunch of books too, but nothing immediate other than that.
I was curious. You wouldn't happen to have any of your stuff not translated, but converted to audiobook?
Yeah, I have several. I think 6 audiobooks at the moment out of my 16. Yeah.
And where can we find those, John?
They're on Audible
or Amazon for those.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got some tokens to spend.
Oh, awesome.
And
Thank
I
you.
need something different, seriously, because it's too much political stuff.
John, I've noticed a trend too that a lot of people have been asking about audiobooks.
I've noticed that. I need to really get on making more of those.
Dude, I'm telling you what,
yeah.
if I'm sitting down in front of a tank or a project, or I'm like, striping or airbrushing or whatever, I've got, and if I'm working at night when I don't have any bosses around me, their earbuds are in there and I'm listening to something.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with, a lot of people, a lot of businesses took people and made them work from home. And now that they can work from home, they can kind of listen to audiobooks or get on a YouTube channel and listen to like a live stream. And that these audiences are starting to pop up now post COVID. I've noticed that a lot. That a lot of people are talking about.
We don't say that word on my channel.
Which word?
The word.
The word. Was it the C word?
The C word. We say the
blank,
coof.
blank,
We don't
blank,
say
C
the
word.
other word. Because what are you trying to do, Mega? John, these inexperienced streamers, John?
No.
Oh my God!
Yesterday, what was I on? I was on Dark Gift, and I was drinking a beer, but I was covering the can with 2 hands. Made it look like I had a shake weight pointed at my face.
Oh boy! Oh
I
no!
I was like, should I not be showing the label? I was extra cautious. I care about my fellow YouTubers.
Yeah, John, you have, and I'm gonna kind of get ready to wrap this up. I really kind of think I want to thank Megabats and ID Crisis for coming in, and I want everybody to go and check them out. And for my audience, if you haven't gone to John's channel and subscribed to him and checked out his website, make sure you check him out as well. Promote him and buy his content. Sarah was watching earlier, and she's already in love. Because your stuff's safe for her kids. But John, you have a heart to tell stories from the perspective of a Christian coming from a Judeo-Christian value base.
Yeah, not Judeo, but Christian.
Well, when I say Judeo-Christian, because people recognize that.
You're splitting hairs,
John.
You
You make this so difficult.
I'm just
Are you
accurate.
saying
That's all.
Are you saying you don't celebrate the Sabbath?
You're splitting Orthodox girls. Well, he celebrates the Sabbath, but not on a Saturday, is what he's saying.
Yeah, there you go.
So you want to communicate values that come from a conservative Christian base.
Yes, that sounds better.
And you want to do it in an entertaining way where it's not schlocky and it's not like, think what are those streaming services that are out there that that are like really Christian intensive, and they're just horrible acting and horrible production.
Pure flicks.
Yeah,
like Pure
just gonna
Flicks. And,
say it. I had it for a while, but I couldn't get around. You could just there's a feel to it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You can just tell there's this coding over the whole production that this.
Well, when you have Christian media, it's essentially very hard to not Deus Ex Machina every story.
right. And John, your approach is to tell interesting stories where the characters are real, where they're struggling and they're heroic, but they're not. Every other word out of their mouth isn't
Praise the Lord.
Jesus and praise the Lord and
Right.
all of that. It's real and it's guttural.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I have a couple
it can-
characters that are
but has
are
value.
a little are more religious than others. I mean, it just depends on the character, but you know,
right.
Go to Amazon.com and buy Cosmic Warrior for only
That's right.
$3.99.
We got Mega Bats looking your stuff up right now.
Oh no, I own it.
You
I
own it.
appreciate that.
What's the best way for people to help you, John? I mean, obviously buy your stuff, but would it?
I'd say send him money and ask him to do nothing for it.
Yes, it's the best.
Probably the
Yes.
That's my favorite thing in the world.
Yes, in fact, right now you can't be my friend if you're not super chatting. So
shit. All right, let me get on that.
That's the way to do it.
Can you
have
super
my
chat from
new
your
best
side?
friend.
Stream.
John, give us a parting thought about what you see happening with cancel culture and Christians and people on the right in general. Do you think
I think it's going to continue, and I think it's going. I think I don't have a problem with so much of separate but equal. I'd rather kind of be in my own space where there aren't any SJWs, and have them leave me and my family alone, and that'd be fantastic. So, I'll just go do whatever somewhere else, but we don't have to let them into our spaces either. And that's where they, that's where they invariably have taken over culture is like,
Correct.
Disney used to be a family entertainment venture. If you look up Walt Disney and look up everything he did back in the day, I mean, he was anti-communist. He was really providing great things for families and children. And it was a wonderful thing he set up. And then it got corrupted after he died, and people infiltrated that cultural element. And so the problem with what they want, they never want what's there. They didn't want Disney to be what it was. They demand inclusivity, and then they demand being allowed in the space, but then they want to change the space completely from what it was.
Yep.
So we just have to get our own spaces again and say, no, you're not allowed in. If you do want to come over here, you're just going to play by our rules, and that'll be it. And I think that's an important thing, and that's what we're trying to do moving forward.
Yeah, what's that meme where it's there's 4 parts to it, and it's that circle where they come into your space, you let them in, and then they say they want to take it over, and then you get upset and they say make your own thing, so you go make your own thing, and they try to tear it down or move into it, and then
that's Texas.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what's happening to Texas. No, I shouldn't say that. John, hey, Megabats. John, before you go, Megabats and ID Crisis. Once again, I'm going to have you guys step out.
Yep.
And if you can, go and share links to your channels real quick before I end the stream so that we can get people to go over and check your stuff out.
Even in the private chat?
No, in the actual stream.
Gotcha.
In the stream chat, yep. I appreciate you guys stepping in and telling us a little bit about what you got going on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity. I'll talk to you guys later.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
John, I have come to respect you immensely because of what you're going through and what you've dealt with and your strength. And that's in the sport you showed me. And I anything that I can do to help you, you just reach out to me and let me know. I would love to be able to continue to promote your stuff. And so as you start a new project, reach out to me, let me know, and I will be more than happy to push people towards you, because I think that's the way, this is the direction we have to go. We have to start promoting other people ideologically without being afraid of the repercussions. And I think that's been one of the biggest downfalls for the West, is that oftentimes, and you talked about this in your stream earlier today, that sometimes we compromise so we can fit in with the cool people or what's perceived to be cool. And so,
Yes, that happens a lot. Hmm.
and we've heard a lot of the people that we are familiar with will tell you, like, once you start apologizing or once you start compromising, it's over. It's
Yes.
done, because you're never going to be able to apologize or compromise enough, because they're going to just keep moving you to the left. And that's what I've appreciated about your stand, even when you're trolling Liam. It's been encouraging to me to see somebody who says, I'm going to take a stand on this issue, no matter what it is, no matter what, even if it costs me, because I've been there. And I wanted you to know, and that's why I wanted you on for Monday Night Musings, was
Hey, no
because I
problem.
wanted people to know that you're out there fighting the fight that a lot of other people are not willing to do. They cave in, they take the jab, they
Yeah.
wear the way that they wear the face covering, they change their content or whatever, just so that they can keep things going. And when, like I said, in your next project, as it comes down the pike, you let me know. If we can, we'll have you on to talk about it, or I'll promote it from here.
Well, thanks, my
And
friend. Cool.
keep at it, and let me know the next round that comes around if there's anything I can do. So
Sure thing. I just appreciate you being there. You're inspirational as well, because you're willing to fight the fight also, and I like just collecting people like you to hang out around, because we form a better community that way, and the community is what's going to be pushing all of us forward at the end of the day. So appreciate it.
well, you go and eat your dinner, and I'm gonna do my shameless self promotion now, and just so you're aware, if you got anybody that's a coffee fan or anything like that, let them know to come check me out, because we are doing something to support the 22-0 campaign, which is, I don't know if you're familiar, but 22 vets, American soldiers, Marine, Airmen, Navy veterans a day take their life as a result of their experience in the military and the lack of actual care from the VA for them. And we're moving to end that as much as possible. And so I'm doing a challenge to my fan base right now, where for every bag of coffee that I sell or every piece of merchandise that I sell, I'm going to be donating a portion of my proceeds to that movement. And I have two people who are stepping up and matching that. Right America Media, the owner and producer of that, is matching that by up to $100. And the guy who actually makes my merchandise, the mugs and the tumblers and the shot glasses and whatnot, he's matching that up to $100 as well. So for big channels, that's nothing. But for me, if we raise $300 or more, that's a plane ticket to get a vet who's in crisis to a PTSD ranch. That's groceries for a struggling vet with kids. So that's why this stuff's important to me. And so if you know people that are coffee drinkers, you've tried it, I hope you liked it.
I loved it. It was some of the best coffee I ever drank. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I absolutely thought it was fantastic.
So if you know anybody who's interested, push them my way. And so they can find me, TC Pearson at protonmail.com, or they can find me on Facebook at TC Pearson or at Robe Regiment. Jon, I appreciate your time. Go see your family and enjoy the rest of your evening, since it's still early there.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, TC. See ya.
Take care, bro. So, for those of you that stuck it out, I really appreciate it. And like, comment, and share this Jon's story, and go out there and find ID Crisis, find Mega Bats, make them be more consistent. That's how you grow. And trust me, I understand it gets tiring. Once again, 22-0 is the project that I'm supporting until the end of April. Every sale that I make, a portion of my proceeds is matched up to $100 by 2 different individuals. So we're looking at a potential for a minimum of 300 or more to go and help the drive to keep vets from taking their lives, because the VA is not doing anything. The federal government just doesn't give a damn. They just don't. It's criminal. It's criminal negligence. And if you're enjoying the content here, make sure you're subscribed. And when we're doing the live streams, make sure you're doing super chats, because quite honestly, I'm relying on a lot of this. My career for the last 13 years, I'm not anywhere near where I was income wise. And so, yeah, I'm gonna let you know I'm fighting because I'm committed. And I'm doing this for you, and I'm doing this for your kids and for your grandkids, so that we continue to speak out against the violations of our liberties as they are granted to us by the God of nature. And I appreciate you guys' time, and I appreciate the subscriptions, and I appreciate everybody who's willing to fight. So until next time, sic semper tyrannis.
We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.